Hi.
Everyone.
Xin chào. I can see,
Hello,
Tam,
come
you
back
are
and
Hi.
everyone.
you're
Hi.
in Dhamma
Hi,
Home
Jonathan.
Center. Yes.
Yes. Maybe you can see that it's a little different from before.
Yes. Yeah, the color has changed.
Yes. So let's see if Achan is there. Achan, are you there?
สวัสดีค่ะ everyone.
สวัสดีค่ะท่านอาจารย์
สวัสดีครับ
Achan,
ท่านอาจารย์ สวัสดีครับ
today we are having our discussion in the new location of Vietnam home in Vũng. Actually, we have
Excuse me, come back. There's a problem with your microphone. I think the sound is not very clear.
okay. It's not. Is it okay? Is it better now?
Distorted.
It's very fuzzy.
Chưa rõ, âm thanh chưa rõ.
Hello?
Nó bị
Is it better now?
méo tiếng.
Testing. Can you hear better now?
Chưa
No,
rõ.
not good.
Can you hear better now?
Chưa rõ.
Chưa rõ à? Sao hôm trước phát đàm thì đã rõ rồi nhỉ?
Thế à?
Nó vẫn rõ nhưng mà nó bị rất nhiều những cái âm kim loại ấy chị.
Em tắt qua đi thử nghiệm, em tắt hẳn đi. Bị hệ thống à? Không, cái này nó tít đằng thì kêu này nó tít đằng kia này. Không phải nghe sát đâu.
Nghe như chị nói vừa rồi là ok.
Alo, bây giờ ok không?
Better. Ok.
Alo,
Hiểu rõ.
can you hear better now?
It is better. It is better.
Hơn một chút.
Thank you.
Better, but still not very clear.
Well,
Better.
that's much better.
Better than it
Thank you.
was.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
that's good enough now.
Okay. So I just wanted to introduce our new Vietnam Dharma home. There was an unexpected happening because the owner of our house, the house that we rent in Saigon, she needed to sell the house, and she found a buyer. So within a week, actually, we found this place. We decided to move to Vũng Tàu because we think that it is better to find a good place, centrally located and convenient for everyone to come, and also, can go to the beach. So yeah, we found this place, and friends, all come together and help for the moving. And we are settled now in the new home. And since the past few days, many friends have come by, and we have been having discussions almost every day here.
Okay, very
Yes.
good. So you're now in Vũng Tàu.
Yes, we are in Vũng Tàu.
Okay, good.
And
Hello everyone in Vũng Tàu.
Dạ. Mọi người muốn ấy là phải nghe tai nghe thì mới nghe dịch được chứ ạ? Mọi người quên mất rồi, pháp đàm.
good for your mother to have you all nearby as well, Tam.
Yes. Hôm nay dịch mà. Dạ, các cô có ở đây không? Có tai nghe không? À, đây vẫn nghe qua ấy được, vẫn nghe qua các bạn dịch thì vẫn được nhỉ? Vẫn mở như mọi khi là được. Dạ. Mình có ai muốn bắt đầu buổi pháp đàm không? So I would like to introduce our new friend, Vinh. Hả? Không sao. Vâng, con xin giới thiệu có bạn Vinh là một đạo hữu mới cũng ở tỉnh Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu, và bạn đã tới pháp đàm ngày hôm nay. Trước đây thì bạn đã theo đuổi rất nhiều các phương pháp khác nhau. Nhưng mà từ thời gian nào bạn đã tới, bạn đã biết đến? Từ tháng 5, tháng 6 năm vừa rồi thì bắt đầu nghe được những gì mà Achan thuyết giảng và bạn rất là hoan hỉ, đúng không? So our friend Vinh, she had followed, she started to know about Buddhism decades ago. And she had followed so many different traditions. Since the last June, about May or June last year, she started to find our videos and where Achan is teaching the Dhamma. So she said that she's very glad to hear the Dhamma taught by, explained by Achan and you. So now I invite her to say a few things about what she has found useful with listening to the Dhamma explained this way. Bây giờ mời chị Vinh có thể chia sẻ với cả mọi người một chút xem là chị nghe Pháp mà được bà thuyết giảng như thế này thì chị cảm thấy là cái hoan hỉ hay là tâm đắc với những gì, thì mời có thể chị cầm mic để chia sẻ với mọi người được không ạ?
Achan và tất cả. Dạ, trước tiên con xin chào Achan và ông bà John, Sarah và tất cả các anh chị trong Zoom mà con với con rất là biết ơn bà vì bà đã cho con nghe được những cái lời mà những gì Đức Phật đã chứng ngộ. Thì con cũng trên con đường đi tìm hiểu Phật pháp mà cũng đủ duyên để được nghe cái lời của bà, thì con cảm thấy là mình may mắn vô cùng khi mà con nghe bà bảo là bà nhắn đi nhắn lại rằng là thực tại hiện giờ nó là cái gì. Thực sự con không có hiểu, con chưa có phải nắm nhiều và hiểu nhiều về Pháp đâu, nhưng cái đấy là nó làm cho con chấn động vô cùng. Và nghe bà thì con mới hiểu được cái Pháp chân đế và tục đế nó rõ ràng hơn, và biết được và Đức Phật đã chứng ngộ điều gì, và hàng ngày ta sống thì ta sống với cái tâm gì, luôn luôn cái bản ngã nó đi theo ta. Thế thì con tâm đắc cái điều đó để bà chỉ ra được rằng là cái luôn luôn có cái bản ngã dính vào ta, cho nên là ta luôn luôn thấy mình khổ và tất cả cái gì cũng có ta ở trong đấy. Thì bà khi mà nghe được pháp của bà thì nó tách được ra, nó hiểu được rằng là cái chân đế và tục đế là như thế nào, và nó rõ ràng hơn. Yeah.
So first of all, I feel very grateful to be able to listen to the Dhamma explained in this way by Achan. What struck me the most is when Achan said that what is the reality now? And she helped me to understand more the difference between realities and concept. And also she pointed out that the self is always there. So I think those are the very important points that have touched me since I listened to Achan.
And so what would you say, Vinh, is the reality now? What have you learned about the reality at this moment?
Dạ, ừm, con hiểu rằng là thực tại hiện giờ như con đang ngồi thì là cái con đang ngồi ấy nó là chân đế, và cái thực tại nó cái xúc chạm, con nghe cái cứng, con cảm nhận được cái cứng, cái mềm, thì cái ghế này đấy, cái thực tại hiện giờ nó là cái đấy ạ.
Để em hỏi lại cho chắc này. Chị có bạn Vinh có liệt kê là cứng, mềm hay là cái ghế? Cái ghế cũng là thực tại và
Dạ
ngồi cũng
không
là
ạ.
thực tại.
Dạ không
À,
ạ. Cái ngồi và cái ghế là nó không phải là thực tại, mà cái cứng và cái mềm nó là thực tại
okay.
ạ. Dạ.
So like at this moment, I am sitting here on this chair. The sitting and the chair are concepts, but softness and hardness are real and realities.
And so, in truth, when you say, I'm sitting here, is there any I, and is there any sitting, and is there any here?
Ừ. Dạ, con được nghe và hiểu rằng là cái tục đế thì nó có ai ngồi đó, và nó có ai ngồi đó. Còn cái về chân đế là nó không có nó không có người ngồi, mà nó chỉ có sự xúc chạm, nó sanh rồi nó diệt ạ. Dạ, dạ, cái có người ngồi, cái người ngồi và cái ghế nó không không nó không phải là thực tại ạ, mà cái thực tại nó là cái sự xúc chạm ạ.
She said that the person sitting is not real, it's a concept. The chair is also a concept.
So, in truth, no I to sit, no I to stand, no I to go here, no I to go there, no I at all in truth. Is this correct?
Dạ, con hiểu là vậy ạ.
Yes, that's the way I understand it.
So, it's just an illusion, a fantasy, the idea of I am sitting here on the chair. And without the Buddha's teaching, we would have no idea at all.
Dạ.
And so when we learn more about realities, like you say, what is touched now is softness or warmth, but no one to touch, no one to experience anything, just moments of touching, moments of seeing, moments of thinking, and so on. So is there any point or any purpose in going somewhere special to follow a practice or to sit in a particular posture or to focus on a particular object?
Dạ không ạ.
No, it doesn't.
So the Buddha taught about the right path and the wrong path. So the right path is the understanding of the truth about the reality that can be known at this very moment. And the wrong path is the path of thinking, I should go somewhere, I should do this, I should focus on a particular object, I should concentrate on breath or do something else in particular to develop understanding and awareness. Would you agree?
Ừm, Dạ, không ạ.
Chị có đồng ý với điểm này không ạ?
Dạ, tức là
Chị có đồng ý với cái điểm mà cô vừa nói ạ?
dạ không, có nghĩa là em không hiểu câu hỏi ạ.
She doesn't get the question, so can you repeat the
Yes.
question?
So the right path that the Buddha taught is the development of understanding of the realities, the dharmas at this very moment, the dharma that is appearing now, seeing now, hearing now, the sound that is heard now, thinking now, because this is life at this very moment to be understood. So if instead of just letting the understanding develop naturally, there is the idea that I, myself, should focus on a particular object, concentrate on breath or some other object, or that I should sit in a particular way or go to a quiet place or follow a particular practice. This cannot be the right way because it's the opposite. It's the idea of I doing something.
Có đồng ý với điều bà vừa nói không ạ? Yes, she agrees with what you said.
I mentioned this because in her introduction, Tam said that you had been studying the Buddha's teachings for a long time, listening to different teachers who teach about different ways and means, I'm quite sure. So it takes a lot of courage to begin to give up the wrong idea of a self that should follow a practice, go to a quiet place, do this, do that, instead of just letting understanding develop by considering more about the realities in daily life now. It's a big burden when there is the idea of I, what I should do, where I should go, what I should focus on, what I should practice, like a chain around one's neck, but to begin to let the chain fall away, let the burden fall away through the understanding of the truth at this moment takes a lot of time and patience and wise considering. And it's only possible by learning more, considering more about what life is at this moment. Seeing now that arises by conditions, not by my will or my intention. It arises when the visible object has impinged on eye sense. It sees what is visible and falls away instantly. No one can make it arise. No one can stop it from arising. No one can stop it from falling away. And it's at this very moment, hearing the same. It's not in anyone's control. No one can select what hearing will hear next, or thinking. Who can choose what the thinking will think about? Who can stop thinking at this very moment? It's impossible because all dharmas are anatta, not in anyone's control. So I appreciate that you have been listening to the recordings and considering carefully, and appreciate the importance of hearing and understanding more about the dharmas in life now. And I'm sure Ajahn would like to ask you a few questions and speak to you as well.
When you heard the words about the truth, what do you think?
Dạ, con nghe những lời vì sự thật thì con thấy hạnh phúc lắm ạ.
When I listen to the words of the truth, I feel a lot of pity. Very happy.
Very happy because of what?
Dạ vì là con vì là cái sự tìm tòi học hỏi của con nó không có thỏa mãn, mà khi con nghe được cái sự thật hiện giờ thì nó làm cho con rất là thỏa mãn, mà con thấy đây là cái mà giống như con cần phải được nghe và được nghe để không còn đi tìm nữa ạ. Cho nên con thấy hạnh phúc vô cùng.
Because before my searching for the truth was not fully satisfied. I didn't feel it was right. But with this truth that I can hear, I think that I finally found it, and that means I don't need to look for it anymore.
That's true, because the moment of understanding the truth, which hasn't been understood before, it brings about so great pity to be able to understand the truth of what is there in life, anytime, any life. But it's not enough yet. So listen again and listen again and listen again, and having more considering about what is said about right now in order to realize the truth of what has been said. For example, there is hardness seen, but is there any direct understanding of hardness as we have learned? It's there by conditions. All right, it's true. But when it's there, is it known to understand its nature as not anything at all, as it is little by little? But it's far away from that point, because in the day we used to think about what is there as something in someone all the time. Even the understanding that it's not that, but the way it appears, condition the idea of something. It means that there's not enough understanding of what we have heard. We heard that seeing is conditioned to, it arises to see, just to see. But at this moment of seeing, it's not direct understanding of the nature of seeing yet. That's why there is firmer and firmer confidence of the truth, that it can be realized as it is, but not just by thinking by oneself, but listening more and more and more about the truth, which will gradually condition the understanding of that which is now appearing one day. We don't know. For example, there is seeing, when we are talking with seeing. We are talking about seeing. How much understanding of seeing while we are talking about it. So that is not enough at all to let go wrong understanding and the idea of something permanent, like what is there now. It seems so permanent. Not any moment gone at all. It's still the same, but in truth, it's not as it appears. That's why learn to understand the ultimate truth, which is so very, very difficult, because now they're seeing, and we're talking about seeing. What is there which is not seen? See, learn to understand more from hearing, considering about the truth of reality, which has been taught by the Enlightenment about the very subtle manners and aspect of what is there as it is, little by little. And that is the way to have firm confidence to let go or wear away the idea of self, of that which is now appearing as flowers and shoes and so on. It doesn't hurt, but at moment of understanding, it brings about joy and understanding a little more of that which is as it is, that it can be realized when there's more understanding, firm confidence of what it is as it is. So now, we learned that what is seen is only visible object, which impinge on the eye base. That is the understanding, beginning to understanding the very deep truth. But it does not appear as it is at all. To be truthful to the truth, that is only the first stage of understanding the truth. But there must be the way to realize it. And the way is not anyone or anyone can do anything, but it's just that which begin to understand. That without understanding more and more directly, on and on and on, it can, what is there cannot appear as it is. While it's the truth so true that what is there is conditioned to arise and gone instantly as soon as it has a reason. When it's true and the understanding of it, hearing again and again and again, is the condition to understand it a little more. Understanding that it's not I or anyone which can condition that moment to be directly understanding the truth of the reality which is there as it is, little by little. So listening to Dhamma, reading about Dhamma, considering about Dhamma is the pleasant moment because it doesn't hurt at all. And it brings understanding little by little, very gradually at a time, to be firm, not to do anything, because it's not according to the truth that one heard from the very beginning. Dhamma is Dhamma. It's anatta, not anything at all. It has its own characteristic, different ones. And when there are more and more understanding with other factors, it conditions moment of instantly be aware of that object by conditions, and that very moment give or condition the understanding of anatta little by little, more and more, until it's so clear. It doesn't matter at all how long would it take, but that's the way to understand a little more of what is there now appearing. So we talk about it, discuss about the truth of it, in order to have more letting go of ignorance and attachment and aversion and all kinds of akusala that has been accumulated so very long time until it can being let go, little by little, so very little by little at a time. But it's that way. Patience is a reality. Right understanding is a reality. And attachment, just want to have it so soon, is also real. But it's the opposite of understanding. So learn to understand what is there, little by little, until it's time of direct understanding of what is there so naturally by anatta. So the characteristic of anatta begin to show up little by little, until it's there so great instantly with clear understanding. Now we are talking about the 3 rounds of the Ariya Satya, the noble truth, the ultimate truth of everything appearing now. So we can talk more on any reality which can condition more letting go of ignorance and attachment of that particular reality, little by little, and understand how deep it is. The more understanding of the subtlety of the reality, it let go. Wishes or what is there to experience instantly and try in different ways, in different manners, going somewhere, try to concentrate and so on. It's not the way of understanding the truth. So we can talk about anything to have more what is there to be remembered, that it's just like that. The reminder the words of reminding about the truth of what is there now is conditioned to have more understanding of the truth. Even the first round, understanding the truth, even it's not there, but it's not directly understood yet because there are so many things needed to be that very moment. Otherwise, just understanding as a reality is not enough because there are other realities as well. So the way is to learn a little more about this moment, which is real from moment to moment, same reality, different moments by different time and different conditions. That's all. No fear of anything at all when it's right understanding. So what is there now? Can there be object of discussion? To understand it a little more. That's why Buddha taught for 45 years about what is there right now at any moment in life. Not only now.
Tức là Achan muốn nói là mình hiện giờ có một cái thực tại nào, chẳng hạn mình muốn tìm hiểu mà nó có bây giờ thì mình có thể nói để Achan cũng sẽ giảng mình nghe.
Dạ con muốn biết cái chánh niệm. Dạ cái chánh niệm là nó sanh khởi cái như thế nào ấy. Em rất là băn khoăn việc. Dạ riêng cái chánh niệm sanh khởi là nó như thế nào? Dạ.
She said that she would like to understand the conditions for sati to arise.
We would all like to have more sati. But it's not so simple as just understanding the conditions. The arising of sati is a very special moment. We're talking, of course, not just about sati, but about sati and understanding. Because sati itself arises with every kusala chitta. But here we are discussing, I'm sure, the sati of satipatthana, which is the sati that accompanies sampajanya or understanding. So actually the question is, what are the conditions for the arising of understanding? Right? And those conditions are so many and so varied that there isn't a simple answer to that question. But the Buddha identified 4 factors which he said are factors that support the development of understanding. And those factors are associating with the good friend, which means the person who has an interest in and understanding of the Dhamma, the true Dhamma. And the second factor is hearing the true Dhamma, which one hears from the good friend or friends, as we do when we are here together. And the third factor is reflecting on what has been heard and comprehended. Because it's not just a matter of hearing the Dhamma and then having awareness and understanding. The Dhamma is so deep and subtle that it needs careful reflection to be properly appreciated. And that needs the repeated hearing and considering of the Dhamma over a long period of time. So awareness and understanding develop very carefully, very gradually, bit by bit. So gradually that we could say almost imperceptibly cannot be noticed. And this means that it requires considerable patience and courage, as I think Sarah mentioned, in order to persist with one's interest in the Dhamma without necessarily seeing any immediate results, which is what drives most people and has driven us until we came to consider the true meaning of the Buddha's teaching. And the fourth factor is, of course, the awareness and understanding itself that occurs naturally, spontaneously, as a progression from the first three factors that we've just discussed.
And I'd like to ask you, Ving, what is sati? What do you understand sati to be?
Dạ thưa bà, con trước đây với cái chánh niệm thì con đã thấy nó sai rồi, nó có luôn luôn ý niệm về ngã rồi. Thì bây giờ con lại muốn hiểu là cái chánh niệm trong cái bát chánh đạo thì là nó như thế nào, cái khoảnh khắc đó nó như thế nào, con không được hiểu, mà con cứ nó giữa cái chánh niệm và cái tưởng á, để con không hiểu là cái nào là nó là chánh niệm. Con muốn được ví dụ hay như này để cho con hiểu một lần để được hiểu ạ.
The way sati was understood by me before, now I know that it's wrong because it includes it accompanies the idea of self. But now actually I don't know much what is sati, and I tend to confuse it with sanya. So I would like to hear your explanation about what is sati, and especially sati in the Noble Eightfold Path.
And this is why I asked, because if we don't know what sati is, or if it's confused with sanya or some other mental factors, or if it's just something that I would like to have, of course, sati cannot develop. Also, if we don't appreciate what the objects of sati is, what sati can be aware of now, then how can sati develop? As Jonathan said, sati arises with any wholesome cittas, so moments of kindness, moments of giving. Sati must be there at those moments, guarding from unwholesomeness. So it protects the citta and cetasikas to perform their wholesome functions, not to be disturbed by akusala. But it's just for a moment. For example, we may make an offering, give a gift to our friend. moments of kindness and generosity, but moments of clinging, attachment, expectation, or disappointment if it's not appreciated. So sati is just arising at the very brief moments of goodness, not at the other moments, not in anyone's control at all, not arising because one would like to have it or one would like to be good, but naturally at those moments of goodness, sati is there, guarding from unwholesomeness. When it comes to sati that develops with the path, as Jonathan said, the key is right understanding. Without right understanding, sati of the path cannot arise. And without the understanding of the objects to be understood, to be aware of, sati cannot arise and develop at all. So you asked about the confusion with sanya. Sanya arises with every chitta in life. Kusala, akusala, vipaka, the result of karma, such as moments now of seeing or hearing, and also kiriya, those chittas which are not wholesome, unwholesome, or result. Sanya marks and remembers the object that is experienced at any moment. At a moment of seeing, the sanya marks what is seen to be recalled later. At moments of thinking, sanya marks what is experienced at every moment, never to be forgotten. So marking and remembering occurs at every moment. Most of the time, it's not kusala. Sati doesn't mark or remember anything, but it is aware of the object of the reality that is being experienced. So we've talked about different realities like hardness now, sound now, visible object now, seeing, thinking. Understanding can begin to understand these different characteristics, these different realities, but it's sati that is aware of the realities. It has a different function to be aware. How does it develop? Not by anyone practicing or focusing or trying to be aware, because that would be the wrong path, as both Achan and I discussed, not the right way. So that would be leading away from the development of sati. So what you said you understood before was all about self, the development of the idea of self. So the wrong path. So sati can only develop with the letting go of the idea of I practicing, I observing, I trying to be aware, I focusing on breath or another object. It develops naturally with understanding by listening, considering, reflecting on the different realities in daily life. And as Ajahn stressed, just hearing or appreciating that hardness is touched now, not a computer, not a thing, it's not enough, because the idea of something, someone, is so very deeply ingrained. So there has to be the listening and considering and wise reflecting again and again to really begin to appreciate that there are just different dharmas arising and falling away now. No thing, no person, nothing to be done. So usually when we ask the question, how can sati develop, or how can there be more awareness, or how can there be more kindness or metta in life? Usually behind those questions, there's the idea of how can I have more metta? How can I have more sati? How can I be a better person? But we know that's the wrong way. So the development of understanding and awareness is letting go of any selection or wish for any object to be understood or known, because they have to develop very naturally without any selection, without any trying or wishing at all. But it's a very subtle path, and there's bound to be wishing or trying or hoping or thinking, how can I have sati? How can I have more metta? But even those moments of wishing or trying can be understood. They can be understood, understanding of the attachment even at those moments, the clinging to I even at those moments. And if there's no understanding of the clinging to self and the wishing, the expectation, the trying, then those qualities will never be eradicated. So good to know how much clinging to self there is, how much considering and reflecting there has to be, but it's not I that considers or reflects or understands. All dhammas are anatta. Does this help a little bit, Vinh?
Có ạ, rất hữu ích ạ. Con cảm ơn bà.
Very much. Thank you.
And this is such an important topic about sati and the development of sati. So I know Ajahn will be very glad to discuss more about this topic with you as well.
When we talk about the truth and the understanding of the truth, there can be moments of beginning to understand how deep and how subtle it is, because it's not just the word. No matter what word we use, sati or lopa or dosa, it's not just the word. And without understanding from the very beginning, there can never be the understanding more than just the word of any reality that we have said. For example, citta, cittasika, rupa, sati, and so on. That's why there has to be the very firm foundation of understanding reality, no matter what, it's real. And it has a reason, otherwise it's not there. And it cannot arise alone by itself or at will at all. It arises only when there are proper conditions for its arising to be such and then gone. When there's firm confidence of the truth, we learn to understand. For example, we have learned some time about some word about sati. Is there sati now? See, that's why even we don't use the term sati or just intend to understand it. But the understanding of what is real now can condition moment of understanding the other reality, even it's not there now too. But learn to understand in truth what is there is by conditions. But what are there? The main difference is that what is there arises to experience the object, and the other arises, but it cannot experience any object. This is the beginning to understand what is there, little by little. Seeing now sees, and what is the meaning of seeing? It sees or experiences different, what we can say, color, only one at a time. See, without sati, can there be the understanding of what is said? But it's so soon to talk about sati. But if we talk about what is there little by little, it can condition moment of understanding, moment of sati. That's why I begin again to be moment of being warned again to understand what is there little by little. Otherwise, it passes on to the word and to the story about it, on and on and on. So now no one knows the truth that even they're seeing right now, the nature, the characteristic, the truth of that which says is not known yet. It's only heard about it. But to be true to the truth, sati does not appear. What appears at this moment is that which is experienced, that which is seen, because what we say seeing is a reality which experiences the object which impinge on the eye base only. See, at that moment it's not sati. Seeing is not sati. It's just a moment conditioned by more than one conditions to arise to experience the object which is pleasant or unpleasant, or by conditions learn to understand the anotherness of all kinds of reality, little by little, and begin to consider the truth. Sati is not, seeing is not sati. Is that right? Learn to understand until one can understand sati. It's not hearing, it's not seeing, it's not liking, it's not disliking. Different realities at different moments. That's all. Little by little to have firm confidence of the truth. Whether what is heard has to be considered so very carefully about what is there. The difference between the chief of experiencing only the object, no like or dislike at that very moment at all. It just experiences the object. And that is not sati. It is the chief of experiencing the object which impinge on the eye base. So that is seeing the reality which is conditioned. And later on, we learn about it that it's conditioned by karma, and what are they conditioned by karma as well, arising together. And we can learn about different moments of different realities, different kind of seeing and the hearing and on about that little by little to understand whether that moment is sati arise together or not at all. That's why learn to understand not just the word, but begin to understand the basic of the truth. No one, because it's conditioned to arise. Before it arises, it's not there. And as soon as it has arisen by condition, it's gone. No matter what, firm confidence, whatever arises falls away. Not to have wrong idea, and this is not that, and this is not that which arises and falls away instantly, and so on. It has to be learned about the truth given by the enlightened one out of his enlightenment to the truth beyond anyone else. So each word is so very subtle. Even there is the understanding about that which experiences the object, and that which is experienced like color and sound cannot experience anything. That is to be heard and thought about by conditions, enough understanding to condition moment of not forgetting what is understood. Because even now we talk about seeing is just a reality, it's conditioned, it now arises and falls away, just the word. But how much understanding of it? And if it's forgotten, no thought about it again and again to consider more, to understand that particular moment, it's impossible to understand the truth, the nature of that, as not anyone or anything at all. And learn to understand sati, not forget about what is heard, what has been understood, what is there to be studied, to learn to realize the truth from moment to moment. That's why this is so very little to talk about any reality, because there's much more to say about it in order to know more about it, in order to let go ignorance and attachment, and in order to be conditioned for the moment of realizing the truth stage by stage. That's why learn to understand one word, but not particular one that you would like to understand, like sati, see. There must be the understanding that at moment of seeing how many realities are there arising together, and the truth is that why, whether there is sati with it or not, see, learning to understand moment without sati, because sati is a reality, but it's wholesome reality, little by little, some more word, little by little, to understand the truth. So now, if the understanding is not right enough, strong enough, can there be understanding that say it at moment of seeing, there's no sati arising, but after that, with the enough conditions for its arising, sati has to arise. A little more about this, a little more about that, will condition understanding of whatever is there that we have heard about the word, about what is it. It's real, it's a reality, it's not a chief of experiencing, but it arises as factors or conditions arising together, and so on, little by little. No expect to understand this particular one. Tell me sati, so I will have sati, so I have more sati. That's wrong. But understanding itself works its way to understand what is there, little by little, stage by stage. So now, is it clear about sati or not yet? See, just begin to consider what is the difference between that which is achieved and the reality which arises together by condition, experience the same object by its different characteristic and functions and so on, to learn about that and that and that, like attachment performs its function as to be attached instantly of that which appears, not at moment of seeing, but at a moment later and so on. This is the understanding of the ultimate truth, little by little, not just in words, but the moment when it's there. To begin to understand the word about it, seeing now, seeing now, seeing now, in order not to forget the characteristic of seeing, that it's not studied, it's not considered carefully enough to understand the nature of that, which experiences the object, different from that which now appears as the object which is seen by seeing. So now, later on, when there is understanding, there is sati. But it's not just the word to be remembered to understand one reality at a time. Is that the way to understand this moment or any moment, little by little? That's why we always say, what is there now? Now, this moment. To learn more, what are there? Little by little. So what is there now? See, not I, not anything, only reality which appears, which has been known yet, but learn to understand that it cannot be as it is, as it's taken to be something. The pen, the water, the plate, the fork. See, right understanding develops in its own way. Hearing, considering, listening, not forgetting, so on. Is that the way to understand what is there now? Whether there's sati or whether there's no sati now, when there's the understanding of any other moment. For example, what are they with seeing? Learning to understand the chief of experiencing is citta, and the other realities, no matter what, arising with seeing or not moment of seeing, are citasikas, different by citasikas. So the moment of sati is different from moment when there's no sati. Learn little by little to understand which moment there is sati, until the characteristic of sati appears to be known. But learn a little more about sati. So when it's there can be understanding of sati as it is, not the other reality. I just want to understand the story of it. And forget. And what forget? That sati forget. See?
Achan, I think because sati is non-forgetfulness. Tanya remembers. So probably that's the reason why she that is it confusing between and sati.
Okay. Can panya arise alone? See? Learn to have firm confidence of the truth. Can panya arise alone? Can seeing arise alone? Nothing arise together at all? Or nothing can arise alone by itself?
Có cái gì có thể sinh khởi một mình không?
Dạ không.
No, they cannot arise alone.
So, shall we begin to understand this moment? So there can be the understanding whether what moments that is there too. But if there's no understanding of what is there now, it's impossible to understand sati when it's there. Because now, seeing, is there sati with it? Why not? And so on. That's why all dharmas are so very subtle. It takes quite a long time for anyone to understand what is there clearly, stage by stage. Even the first round, talking about the truth of any reality, it takes quite a long time to understand the truth, not mix them all up at all. And they are so very subtle, like sati and satta and chanda. See? And Tratamachatata, if we don't understand each one, we just want to understand sati. It's impossible.
Vậy thì ở khoảnh khắc thấy có sati không? Có niệm ở khoảnh khắc thấy không ạ? Ở khoảnh khắc thấy đấy, theo chị là có hay không ạ?
Khoảnh khắc thấy.
Achan hỏi
là có chánh niệm hay là có niệm hay không ấy ạ?
Có niệm sinh cùng ở khoảnh khắc thấy không?
Dạ em cũng không nắm rõ lắm rồi em nghĩ là
She doesn't know whether there is sati at the moment of seeing or not, Achan.
That's why we learn about different moments to understand the truth. The first round, just understand the nature, the truth of each moment. What is there? And later, there can be the understanding whether what moment sati arising together, or what moment sati cannot arise at all. For example, sati cannot arise with seeing. When there's understanding conditions for sati to arise, there can be more understanding about moment without sati and moment with sati. So that's the way to learn about the truth of sati. Not just the story of it. That's why the more understanding the truth of the very subtle realities or dhammas are so very subtle, and they are anatta. It's not just understand by words, but understanding the nature of it when it appears, one by one, little by little. If it's not deep, if it's not subtle, there can be understanding to the degree that it can be realized, but it's not like that at all. Now, who knows? There is ignorance of seeing. Is that right? And we learn about ignorance. What moment it arises and what moment it does not arise. But now, seeing is there. There is no understanding of seeing. There is the idea of I see. Naturally, by conditions, by ignorance, never understand the truth because no understanding from hearing, considering at all about seeing. The same to all kinds of reality. It needs more careful considering how long it will take for Buddha to be the enlightened one, not just Buddha to be. So without hearing, little by little, considering a little more, little by little, there's no way to understand the truth of this moment. Because it's not easy at all. Before there can be the fully understanding of what is there at level of priyati, it takes quite a long, long time to listen again and again and again to be firmly understood that no understanding of seeing right now yet, even it's there. It's so very subtle, so very deep. Is that true? And it's not just seeing any kind of reality. That's why be patient to listen, to consider, to understand the truth. Is this enough understanding? Even at level of the first round, intellectual understanding about seeing, about hearing, about thinking, about sati, and so on. So we can understand how great virtues of the Buddha, the enlightenment, beyond anyone in the universes. And the enlightenment means that it's moment of understanding the truth when it's there as it is, not anything or anyone. Seeing is not seeing. Seeing is not hearing, it's not thinking, and so on. Because it's there appearing as it is. And this is the goal, the point of listening to the truth, to understand a little more, a little more, a little more. Never enough. That is patience, parami. so subtle. So sati is moment of not forgetting about the truth of what is there now. And it's not right understanding. See, learn each reality as it is, to let go the idea of self, something, from life to life. Ignorance is there. Not understanding the truth, even it now appears. But the truth does not appear as it is, because it appears to Panya, and Panya cannot arise with Sati and other reality, other wholesome realities. No one. That's the way to let go the idea of self or something, little by little. So would you like to talk about Satipatthana now? Or not yet?
Chưa đến thời điểm đó à.
Not yet. It's not the right time yet.
Cảm ơn nhiều.
That's it. That's so true. That is the understanding of the truth that is so very deep, very subtle. That is the way to pay respect to the enlightened ones about his great virtues of compassion to everyone who cannot understand the truth, even is there, by oneself. Because no condition for such level of right understanding. So be patient. Listen again. Be truthful to what is there, whether it's ignorance is there, or whether right understanding is there. We are talking about all kinds of realities, but cannot be expect to have such and such to be known, to appear to be known, all by conditions. And who knows, this is the subtle letting go of the idea of self and wrong understanding. Without it, it's just a word. So seeing is a reality, or it is just a word everyone knows. Just sati, see, it cannot be understood easily. There must be the other understanding of other realities too. To know the difference one by one until sati is different from the other realities. Great patience. Is there now patient? And patient is no one. Patient to understand the truth. Ignorance is the unknown at moment of seeing. When it's gone, what is there? Much more subtle than anyone can imagine. To understand the subtlety of all kinds of reality is so very important, very precious, not to underestimate, because some might think that it's so easy to understand the truth, to go somewhere, to do something, and realizing the truth. Impossible. That's not the teachings of the enlightened one, of the way he developed on and on until the moment of enlightenment. How long? So this moment is moment of being truthful to the truth. Not forget. Sati is that not forget that realities are very deep and very subtle. Who knows? Sati is there, understanding the truth.
Dạ. Nhung có ở trên Zoom thì sư cô cũng biết là Nhung vừa mới kết thúc khóa thiền thì vừa rồi Achan nhắc rất là nhiều về chánh niệm và giảng về chánh niệm, thì không biết sau khóa thiền vừa rồi thì Nhung có suy nghĩ gì về những lời suy xét gì để mà kết nối giữa khóa thiền và những lời dạy của Achan không ạ? Thì em có thể bật mic lên để mình cùng suy xét về chánh niệm mà giữa cái em vừa kết thúc khóa thiền và những lời dạy của Achan vừa giảng xong ạ.
Hello. So the sister just asked one of the participants in the Zoom who had just finished a meditation retreat. So she just asked this friend that is there anything she'd like to say? Because just now Achan explained a lot about sati. So as someone who has attended a meditation retreat, is there any connection between what Achan say and what she has been experiencing so far? So I don't know if the friend is willing to speak up now. Không biết là bạn có ở đó.
Bạn ấy nói là bạn ấy đang trên xe buýt và không dùng tai nghe nên không tiện trao đổi lúc này ạ. Xin trao đổi lúc khác ạ.
She's on the bus and it's not convenient for her to have the exchange now.
But let us consider, what does it mean, finished meditation? What does it mean? What is meditation? Or what is meant by finish?
I think it's a very good question.
Conventional language.
No understanding of what is meant, what is meditation, whether it's right or wrong idea about meditation, and what is the understanding while one is meditating, how come such understanding. There must be conditions for whatever arises. So listen to finish what? The time or what?
Like we say, our Dhamma discussion is finished. Time up.
At 3:30. So what does it mean?
Chúng ta có thể nói là thời gian pháp đàm kết thúc nhưng mà không có nghĩa là thời gian để tìm hiểu pháp kết thúc ạ. So we can say that the Dhamma discussion is finished conventionally, but it doesn't mean that the studying of Dhamma is finished because there's no time set for Dhamma studying.
And what is meant by finish? No more akusala or what? At all. Ultimately eradicated, never to arise again, What does it mean? Oh, it finished it the moment. It cannot arise again. Each moment is finished when it's gone, as soon as it has arisen. No understanding, just finished. But it arises again as long as there are conditions for whatever arises. It has to arise right now. The proof of the word of truth right now, it's still there and gone. Finished, moment to moment. No understanding. Just say finished. So is it almost time to finish now? Is it finished when the time is up? Is understanding finished or what? Is that
So we still have
yeah, and is that the word of the Buddha? Is that the teachings of the Buddha? Is that the word of the enlightenment? What did he say about meditation, or what is translated from bhavana? What is the Pali term for what we say in meditation?
It's bhavana, Achan.
What does it mean?
It's development.
Moment to moment, by conditions.
Right.
That is the understanding of anatta, to be firmer and firmer, not forgotten at all. No one, only each different realities, conditions when it's proper time for its arising. Is that the word of the Buddha? And what did Buddha say? About each moment, about the truth, the ultimate truth of anatta-ness.
Achan, our friend who attended the meditation, is not there to speak. So,
But what about
question?
all of us listening, considering? Not just for one person, for everyone. Or it's not for me. I'm not the one who asks a question, or what?
Just because Miss Ha has a question, Achan, may she ask her question now?
Yes, please.
Yes, thank you.
Alo. Dạ con xin hỏi là Achan thường trong những lúc Achan chia sẻ thì luôn có những cái điều mà Achan dạy rằng là hãy có niềm tin vững vàng về sự thật, rồi và hãy trung thực với những gì hiện giờ, hãy chân thật với thực tại. Dạ thì con xin nhờ Achan có thể nói rõ hơn trong những cái điều ấy. Và cái hiểu hiện tại của con á, thì con thấy cái thời điểm mà có cái hiểu á, thì niềm tin nó có mặt ở cái thời điểm đó à. Mà khi mà không có cái hiểu thì niềm tin cũng không có. Dạ. Rồi cái sự chân thật thì khi có cái hiểu thì sẽ có chân thật trong cái lúc cái hiểu đó. Nhưng mà khi không có cái hiểu thì không có. Dạ, thì con hiểu là Achan giống như là nhắc nhở là thật sự thì có cái duyên để tác động ở cái thời điểm đó, là có cái duyên, ví dụ như Achan nói về cái thấy đi, thì có cái duyên để thật sự cái thời điểm đó không có cái hiểu về cái thấy, và thấy rõ ở thời điểm đó là vô minh. Dạ, con xin cái hiểu, con hiểu như vậy mà con muốn nhờ Achan giảng thêm cho con rõ hơn ạ. Dạ, con xin hết ạ.
Achan, you usually say have confidence in the truth or be truthful to the truth. So the way I understand it is when there's understanding, there's confidence. If there's no understanding, then actually there's no confidence. And the same with being truthful to the truth. It occurs only when there is understanding. So I take your words to be the reminder for us about the realities now and whether there's any understanding. Like when we talk about seeing, if there's no understanding or no confidence about the truth of the seeing now, that means ignorance is there. Is my understanding correct? Could you please?
Okay, yes. Does seeing arise?
Okay.
Is there any confidence of seeing right now that it has arisen and gone? How firm
Dạ thưa có ạ.
confidence?
Yes.
Is it firm enough?
Dạ hiện tại thôi ạ.
Only for now.
Should it
Đủ
be
chắc chắn.
more?
Dạ hiện tại thì có, nhưng mà tương lai con chưa biết ạ.
Có cần
And
phải thêm.
how to be more?
Tức là nó có thể thêm hơn nữa, niềm tin đấy có thể lớn hơn nữa không, và làm thế nào để nó có thể lớn hơn nữa?
Cái câu hỏi mới vừa rồi khác ý thôi mà.
Dạ, bây giờ chị có câu mới rồi, chị có thể
Dạ.
hỏi câu mới được không?
Mà giờ Hà quên câu Achan.
Achan hỏi là cái niềm tin ấy có thể lớn hơn nữa không, và làm như
Dạ.
thế nào để nó có thể lớn
Dạ
hơn
có.
nữa?
Dạ có, và được nghe và đàm luận thì có thể lớn hơn được ạ.
Yes, that confidence can be bigger, more, and by discussing and listening, that confidence can grow.
And also not forget, right? That should be realized, not just to be heard. And that is sati, not forget about the truth, about what should be learned, and what is there now is not known yet. It arises with panya, right understanding, because it knows, it remembers that seeing now is not yet realized. So at moment of not forget about the wholesome realities, deeds, and speech, that is sati. So while there's no thought about it, and is attached to what is there appearing through eyes, ears, so on, no sati. Beginning to understand the difference between moment of no understanding, always forget about what is heard, that is so true. That's the way Panya developed, with sati, not forget about the truth of what has been heard. And that it's now appearing. If it does not appear at all, how can there be the understanding of that which is there when it's not there. And when it's there, it has a reason. And as soon as it's there, it's gone. Not forget about the truth, to learn more, to hear more, to consider more. Few words is not enough at all. That's why Buddha taught for 45 years. Not few words, 45 years. Morning, day, night, anytime, suitable time, proper time. So begin to understand what's meant by confidence, firm confidence, firmer and firmer when there is more understanding. So now we know that seeing is there to be learned, but it forgets. The moment of forgetting is not sati. But it has to be forgetting in the right way, the wholesome way. Not just forget to drink, forget to do, but not forget that what is there has to be learned until it's there appearing to be firmer understanding of firm panya. So, Khun Sarah, is it time now?
Each moment is time up. Each Dharma, time up,
Dạ, con
finished,
rất xin
gone.
chia lại Achan ạ. Dạ.
ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ
Savadika,
Sawasdee
Ajahn,
Krap,
everyone.
Ajahn,
so
Sawasdee
much.
Krap.
See you
Thank you
Ajahn,
very
next
much,
time.
Ajahn. Thank you, Tambak and
Looks-
Pani Tam and hi and everyone in Vietnam.
It looks like you have a very good center now. Tam, best wishes for it.
Thank you. We're very glad.
Yeah.
Thank you, John and Sarah. We'll see you next week.
See you
Right.
next time. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Chắc mình ngồi thêm pháp đàm thêm khoảng nửa tiếng nữa được ạ.
Good questions from the new member, from Ving, and also from Ha at the end, Anumodana.
Dạ. Pháp đàm Việt Nam sẽ còn tiếp tục khoảng nửa tiếng nữa ạ. Xin mời cả nhà ai có thể ở lại thì chúng ta vẫn cứ tiếp tục.